George got this cow elk yesterday. This looks like the left hind quarter right here. And there's
evidence of sex attached.
Yeah, what's the trick to that?
Usually, like with a cow, I usually just leave a teat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So where's the sex evidence here?
Right there, you see the hair?
Uh-huh.
You can see
So that's it right there. That's on the hind quarter, you'll see that?
Yeah. So.
Okay. I was wondering how I was supposed to do that.
Yeah. So
okay.
I just leave a little piece.
All right. And then the two front quarters.
That's a tenderloin.
So that's a tenderloin. There's two tenderloins, right?
There is.
One on each side. Okay. And that's the heart?
Yep, that's the heart.
Okay.
And
this is the other tenderloin then,
that's
right?
the other tenderloin. He didn't really have any on this one. So
okay.
That's good.
Do we need a table we need to set up? Should I go get some...
I've got my...
Oh, you're going to do it on your table back there then?
Yeah,
okay.
I got it on the table, but usually what I do is I cut it apart.
Okay, and then take it up there and make your pieces then.
Yep.
What are you going to do with the heart?
That's my favorite part, so I will probably eat that for dinner here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just slice it?
Oh yeah, slice it and then grill it with a little bit of salt and pepper and just a little marinade.
Okay.
It's delicious. That's my favorite piece.
Really? The heart, huh?
Yeah, I love the heart. In fact, last year I had the heart in the fridge for about a week.
Uh-huh.
And Jennifer saw it in there, and she's like, I cooked it eventually.
Uh-huh.
She goes, I can't eat it. It's just, she goes, I just couldn't eat it. And so I said, well, just try a piece. And she put it in her mouth, and she goes, oh my gosh, that's incredible.
I would think it would be tough, but it's not, huh?
It's not. It's extremely tender.
Okay.
In fact, it's probably as tender as the tenderloin, but it's all muscle, and so it's got just a great texture to it. I can't complain about it. I really like the tenderloin.
Okay.
Or the heart. So you got one. What I'm trying to do is like cut off the fat.
Okay, you just get off all the excess stuff there.
Yeah. And that kind of makes it easier. I'll usually just kind of put in a little pile of stuff.
Too bad you don't have a dog, you'd eat all that.
Yeah. But, it's not quite as sharp as it was yesterday. It'll do for a little
Do you
while.
need a sharpening steel? You got one, I'm sure.
I got one, yeah. But, yeah. Actually, I might just go ahead and switch to the boning knife. So usually what I do is I try and find, you can see where the seams are.
Mm-hmm.
Just by kind of, this is nice and fat, so you can kind of see those different seams, like here's the top round.
Okay,
right
so
there.
that's the top round.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a tougher cut right there then.
It's actually not too bad.
Okay.
It's actually pretty tender.
Do you label it when you put it away?
I usually just label them as roasts or steaks,
Okay.
or just, that's about all I usually need. So you just kind of start, kind of find the end point here. And you just follow the muscle. That way.
Okay, so you're just following it right around then.
Yep. So, and this is where it always gets kind of tricky. Is just getting everything started. Once you kind of get it going.
It all comes apart pretty easy. So you just break it up by muscle group then, right?
Yep, pretty much. So,
This is top round.
yeah, you can see it's got that nice big cut right here, and then this will kind of separate out.
Okay.
It's kind of a
separate piece by itself?
Yeah,
then?
it's kind of a separate piece by itself. In fact, you can kind of almost pull it apart. It's kind of the end of it. working into the tenderloin.
Oh, okay.
Or not the tenderloin, but the...
Yeah, I've watched
backstrap.
every butchering elk video out there, and there's not very many particularly great ones, so,
Really?
yeah,
Huh.
it's always good to add to the body of knowledge.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I don't mind being a YouTube. I don't think I will get rich off of it.
Oh, I know, nobody gets rich off of it. This is just adding, whenever I have a question, I go to YouTube and say, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I change the brakes in my car?
I did the same when I replaced the drums. I've done discs before. I've
But
never done
drums are a
drum
lot harder, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what I did. I went to YouTube and kind of figured it out.
Okay, so you're just separating one from the other then, okay.
Yeah, you just kind of work them apart, and sometimes it helps to kind of flip them back and forth.
Yeah, I saw that.
Put them on.
Flip it over.
Yeah. So,
Okay, you've almost got that one torn off now, don't you?
yeah, so it's just a matter of...
Now that was the top round then, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. That's what I always...
That's the one we started out with there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's usually the one I generally try and do. That's a little, not the best job there, but actually what I should do is just follow that little muscle group. It kind of attaches here.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of...
Now you cooled it overnight then. Do you ever age it longer than that? Of course, we don't have much choice right now. It's not cool enough right now, is it?
Yeah, it's not real cool enough, and since I have to travel this week, I got to do it now, or I got to do it now.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
I don't really have the luxury of
Waiting.
letting it sit for a few days. I'd like to, and I've done it before. Like, you know, when I get them in November, I'll try and this.
It looks like hamburger meat.
Yeah, it's trimmings, so it's mostly just going to end up being hamburger. Clean it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, it also helps to kind of, as you're cutting through,
Clean off some of the gray.
yeah, clean off some of the fat. What you really don't want is you don't want fat and you don't want silver skin. This is silver skin.
Okay. Yep.
So what you really don't want that stuff, so you really got to trim it off. You can run silver skin through a grinder.
But
it's not the best. It'll really clog it up.
okay.
But what you really don't want is fat.
Because that'll affect the taste
Yeah,
of it.
fat will definitely affect the taste of the meat. And so by eliminating as much of the natural, you know, what I do is I always add pork fat. So like if I'm grinding something, like for burgers, I always like the taste of pork fat. So usually I use pork fat. Others use beef fat.
Okay.
You can use some of the natural fat, but a lot of times people feel that gives
A wild taste to
a
it.
little bit more of an off-gamey taste to it.
Okay.
And so I generally don't keep much fat.
Now, did you separate it right here when you were on the animal? Is that where you separated it?
Yeah, you basically just kind of, you follow that hip joint, so like from the leg, follow it up, and you'll hit that point, and you just kind of, by pushing it down, you'll see it kind of detach slightly, and then you just
And it pops off.
Yeah,
then.
break that.
That
And
ligament then, right
Yeah,
there.
you break those ligaments, and then it cleaves pretty quick once you get that done.
Wish I'd been up there when you did the quartering. I've seen a couple quartering videos, and it's always good to see another one or two.
Yeah, it's... I always feel like I go slow, but it seems like... But it didn't take me that long, and even by myself. I think, you know, it was shot by probably
What time of day yesterday?
8 o'clock in the morning,
Okay.
and I was probably done by 10:30.
Okay.
So that's not too bad to...
No, that's good. And you're about, what, a quarter mile, a mile away from your camp?
I was probably, from my camp, I was probably about 3 miles.
Okay.
From the truck, I was about a little over a mile.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, but it wasn't, it was all downhill, which wasn't too bad, but it was steep.
Yeah.
Steep. But that's where, there's a reason why the elk show up there, because that's where
People don't go.
people don't go. And in fact, I think that bull was just surprised yesterday when I shot that cow right in front of him. He was so surprised because he was like, "Wait, that's a human." What's a human doing?
And they were bugling yesterday, huh?
Oh, yeah, and they weren't bugling super heavy. I think the rut's starting to end.
To end right now, huh?
But he bugled to me right after I shot the cow. He looked at me and just let out this loud bugle. Like, you shot my cow. You shot my lead cow. So if you want to go and check this side, and this is kind of pulling off this large muscle group here.
I can put the camera down and help you anytime you need me to, so.
Okay, I might here in a little bit. Sometimes the weight just gets
Too heavy. I can hold this too if you need.
Yeah, let me get this piece here kind of moving a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm going to pause this.
That's the part that just takes
Cutting
time.
and trimming takes a lot more time, but then
Yeah.
you're up working on a table and working with piece by piece then, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit easier that way.
So now you got 1, 2, 3 pieces separated now.
Yep.
With that one you're doing right there then.
Yeah, and this is getting to the point where I can't really do it without flipping.
Okay.
So, but what I do is, while I'm on this side,
Clean off some of this stuff then.
try and clean off some of these, things here.
Yeah, just get it as clean as
Get
possible.
some of that fat out of there. And a good boning knife is really handy. So,
Okay, now is this where that's not where you shot him, that's just
no,
coagulated blood
it's just
then?
coagulated blood from cutting up, doing the
Okay,
initial.
I'll pause this and help you a little bit here.
Okay, some limitations. It's almost like filleting a fish in a way.
So now you're just working your way up the bone then.
Yep, just kind of working around the bone and getting off this.
That looks like the ham or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly which. I've got a chart somewhere.
Yeah, I've got one. I've got a book that tells me all the pieces too.
Yeah.
But I'd have to be looking at the book while I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's it's enough work that just not worrying about what it's getting around this kneecap is
Oh yeah.
tricky too.
Oh yeah.
So just kind of there's a lot of fascia through here, so sometimes just cleaning some of that stuff off makes it a little easier to see. There we go.
That's me for going over and turning down the heat. All right, I'm going to pause this. I'll be right